So Game Pass has another smashing hit, and let's talk about it. But before we get on with the video, definitely hit that like button. If you guys enjoyed the video, you can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content. Don't forget to go there and follow me at Twitter at LordAddictIOP. Without any further ado, let's talk about Game Pass and the success of it. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you for another video. Today we're going to be talking about Game Pass. I know I've talked about Game Pass a lot on this channel. I know we have really went over anything you could think of in terms of Game Pass. But with the game called Hades that's coming out on Game Pass day and date, and later on this month we have 12 minutes. I sat down and I thought about it for a second. Game Pass is really changing the landscaping of gaming, and let me explain why. For a long time, there's been a lot of studios that go out of business. There has been games that don't really innovate anything in their genre whatsoever, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that when you make these games, they take a lot of money to make, a lot of marketing to make it. Costs money to hire people consistently for years to make a game, and after enough years it adds up. But what I'm seeing with subscription services, these developers, these indie developers, these AA, AAA developers, they get a little bit more money on the back end when it comes to putting their games on a subscription service. Now, clearly, in terms of Game Pass, we know Microsoft's first party goes in there day and date. Now, let's talk about stuff that's not first party. You got games like Hades, you got games like 12 Minutes. These games definitely cost a lot of money to make, and after a certain amount of time, it's a lot harder to make money off of them because they've been on the market for a certain amount of time, and then the only way to really sell them after they've been on the market for that amount of time is to put them on sale, to make DLC, or to make a new sequel entirely. But with subscription service and in Game Pass in general, you can have access to another revenue. For instance, Hades has been on the Switch and PC for like 2 to 3 years, and now since they're putting it on new platforms, they can get that money off Xbox Game Pass, and they can get that money as well off of the sales in general. Now I want to talk about the amount of risk that these studios can take, because now it's not necessarily just all about what we can get in that first couple months that game comes out. It's, let's put this in a subscription service, and as long as it does good, we'll always have access to that revenue, because when the deal goes out, we could just re-sign with Microsoft if we are part of the popular games in their subscription service. Now keep in mind, this goes for more than just Game Pass. This goes for PlayStation Now, even Stadia to a point. If a game is extremely popular in one of these subscription services, they have bargaining chips that they can go back to these publishers and these developers and the people who own these subscription services, and they can say, look, your users love our games, so let's go ahead and reach to a better contract that benefits us even more than the previous one did. And a lot of people feel like the AAA products that come from Microsoft themselves, that, you know, they're not going to necessarily worry about quality as much. They're going to really focus on quantity, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like Microsoft will actually be able to take more risks, because now they're not just relying on the money that game brings in, because it's part of a subscription service, and every month they have millions of people in this service, so they're constantly funding new projects. They're constantly funding the ability to bring more games like Yakuza, like Dragon Quest to this platform. A lot of people feel like Microsoft's not gaining anything from Game Pass and they're just throwing money into a hole. To a point, they are right. Microsoft is investing heavily into Game Pass because they want to show value. And if anything that we've seen on Netflix, if we've seen on Hulu, content is king. When Microsoft starts throwing out Fable, and they start throwing out Avowed, and they start throwing out the Outer Worlds 2, people are going to stick with this service. And Microsoft will be able to actually invest more into the service because that money is generating income every month to give them more money to shuffle back in to the Game Pass and Xbox brand. Now keep in mind, Game Pass, in my opinion, one would think would help with marketing as well. It costs millions of dollars to effectively market a AAA title. title. But now you can go ahead and market Game Pass and you can revolve it around the particular game that's coming out. Let me explain. Halo Infinite is coming out this holiday. So what they would do, and what I think they're going to do, is they're going to promote Halo in Game Pass. And I feel like that's going to be cheaper on them than constantly shifting from game to game, marketing different entities, when they can just market one entity known as Game Pass, but they can theme it around the game that they're marketing about. Now, let's talk about another thing that people love bringing up about Game Pass, is the low quality of games in there. We just had Hades put on there, a very highly Metacritic scored game that has done very well. When you have scenarios like this game going in there, and MLB The Show and the Outriders, when you're having these AAA titles going there day and day, and you're having these high rated games that is arriving on your platform, let's not forget that Hades didn't just miraculously come out of nowhere and be put on Game Pass. It's never been on the Xbox platform till now. So it's not only coming on the Xbox and PlayStation platform, it's coming in there day and date. So on your competition's platform, they're paying the whole full dollars for that game. But on Xbox, if you have a subscription service known as Game Pass, all you have to do is just click download. And keep in mind, like I said earlier, Microsoft is putting their first party on this service day and date. You're having Halo Infinite, which just came off of an amazing beta that everyone's talking positive about. At the end of the year, you're also going to have Forza Horizon 5, which every single Forza Horizon has always done well review-wise and sales-wise. Not to mention, Game Pass is making the industry way more accessible. When you want to play these games and you can't necessarily afford them, for a subscription service, not too much more than you pay for Netflix, which is Ultimate. If you pay the regular Game Pass that's just on Xbox, it's pretty much, it could be cheaper than you play on Netflix if you don't get the 4K bundle and stuff. And all that's going to do is increase the amount of gamers that's there 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And Microsoft could unintentionally, in a few years, double the amount of people that's in gaming because they've made it more affordable and more accessible. And that's why I just personally feel like Microsoft and Game Pass is changing the whole scene of gaming. They're making the entry to gaming so accessible with stuff like the Xbox Series S. And you have Game Pass for $10 a month to $15 depending on what you want from Game Pass. They're making it more accessible for these indie developers and these AA and AAA studios to get more money for their buck. They're making another avenue of revenue that these developers and publishers can rely on to funnel back into the next project. And keep in mind, it's like I said, this is not just Game Pass. This is also PlayStation Now. But to me, Microsoft is putting a lot more effort behind their subscription services. And I personally feel like, you know, if we see a huge spike in subscription services throughout the next couple years, we're gonna have Microsoft to thank for that. It's just like what happened with the crossplay in Fortnite. Fortnite put their foot down and they said, Sony, we want crossplay. And sooner or later, because of how big Fortnite was, Sony had a cave. And now we have this coming to Call of Duty, Destiny. A lot of the big AAA titles are getting crossplay from the actions of one company, in my opinion. Obviously, there has been crossplay throughout the majority of places. PlayStation and PC have been doing crossplay since the PS3. But at the end of the day, it's who forces people's hands. And I think Microsoft is going to force people to take subscription services more seriously because of the more successful Game Pass gets, just like Sony had to take Fortnite more seriously in terms of if they're going to allow crossplay onto that platform. And because they took that more seriously, we do have other games getting crossplay. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, this is all my opinion. Nothing here is facts. Nothing here is some inside information I have. It's just my opinion and my opinion only. I do feel like Microsoft and Game Pass is going to change the future of gaming in big ways, but we'll have to see exactly how they do in terms of the quality of their games, such as Fable, and we'll have to see exactly how many of those they can get on the subscription service to keep people in the service. But anyway, that's the video, guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Is Game Pass something that you think is going to evolve the actual industry of gaming in the future, in the long term of things, not like the next couple years? I'm feeling like the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to change stuff drastically. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.